Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. வெளியில் வருது அவுட்டு. அங்கே ஏதோ ப்ராப்ளம். அங்கே என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்? அவுட்புட்டு. ஹலோ, ஆன்லைனில் வருது. ஹலோ, செக். ஹலோ 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 ஹலோ. ஹலோ 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 ஹலோ. வருது போங்க. உங்களுக்கு பேச
இது கொஞ்சம் இங்கே மறைக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கு. இங்கெல்லாம் நீங்கள் சைடில் வச்சு பேசட்டுமா? அகர முதல எழுத்தெல்லாம் ஆதி பகவன் முதற்றே உலகு. மைக் டெஸ்டிங். ஹலோ 1 2 3.
இந்த இதெல்லாம் வைக்காதீங்க, பேஸ் ட்ரிபிள்லாம் வைக்காதீங்க, க்ளோஸ் பண்ணுங்க. அது மட்டும்
அங்கே போய் குறைங்க லைட்டாக இது பண்ண.
ஹலோ, இப்போ கேட்குதா? ஓகே, இது பரவாயில்ல, கொஞ்சம் எக்கோ அடிக்கல. ஃபைன். இந்த லைட் சார், பழனி சார்.
இல்லைங்க, அது அங்கே வச்சோம்னா இது லைட்டாக நம்ம தோட்டத்தை விட முடியாது.
இதுதான் பெஸ்ட் பிளேஸா?
இப்போ நமக்கு லைட்
அது புரியுது. இது வேறு எங்கே வைக்க முடியாது, மறைக்காத மாதிரி. இங்கே சைடில்
இல்லைங்க, லைட்டாக இருந்துச்சுன்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து ரீச் ஆகும். அவுட்டோர் லைட் வரதுனால அது இதுவும் மிக்ஸ் ஆகி லைட்டு விளாட்றது.
அது புரியுது எனக்கு. என்ன சொல்கிறேன், அது எதுவும் ஆப்ஷன் இல்லை. இதுதான் பெஸ்ட் பிளேஸ்.
நம்ம எப்படி மறைச்சி வச்சுக்கலாம்.
அதுதான் டெஃபெக்ட் வராது. சரி, ஓகே. அப்போ அந்த சேரை எடுத்துருவோம்.
இல்லைண்ணா
Hello, good morning all. So we are going to start the session in 5 minutes. Before that, yesterday Shri Bagavath has taken first session. In that he had given an idea about understanding. So yesterday's topic was understanding. Today he is going to talk about the physical world and psychological world. So how to act in this world and how to act in another world. So that one he is going to summarize. So yesterday 2 hours Sri Bhagavat spoke on understanding. So Mr. Lanir will give a gist for in 5 minutes what Sri Bhagavat had spoken yesterday. So I want to. So, okay. So anyway, Bagavath Ayya had come. We'll directly enter into the class. நேற்று கிளாஸ் ஜஸ்ட் மாதிரி ஒரு 5 மினிட்ஸ் கொடுக்க சொல்லுங்க லேனியரை இல்லை நீங்கள் அப்படியே கம்மி நான் புதுசாக வந்திருக்காங்க இல்லை நீங்களே சம்மரைஸ் பண்ணுறீங்க நேற்று ஒரு கிளாஸ் 5 மினிட்ஸ் சொல்லிவிட்டு இன்றைக்கி டாபிக் ஆரம்பிச்சு
நீங்களே சொல்லிட்டோமா?
சரி சரி
நீங்களே சொல்லுங்கள்.
So I will summarize in few minutes what yesterday has been discussed so that the new people who had come can get today's session. கேக்குதா? Little louder. Okay. So yesterday what we discussed is about emotions and intellect. So the things which comes voluntarily are emotions and thoughts, and the intellect is the one which demands some destination. So the emotions has both good and bad part, but the intellect wants only a good thing. So that's the fight. That's the eternal fight happening. So the intellect depends only good things should happen in my emotional system. Only good things, pleasant things, joyful things should come to me. If anything other than that comes, I will try to put away. So this is what the intellect is trying to do. So what's the understanding is, we don't have the power over the emotions or thought. So we can't say don't come because it's not our property. So if this is not my property, I can't say who should come inside, who should not come. So I don't have the power, I don't have the authority to say. But intellect is trying to say that. So now what is the understanding is, so if intellect is going to try to control which it can't control, it is going to be a never-ending fight. So in that case, what the intellect should understand is, we should not have a destination in the name of goodness or in the name of joy or in the name of blissfulness or whatever it is. If it has some destination, naturally the emotions is not going to listen to the intellect. So naturally intellect is going to get frustrated. So naturally it is going to experience a different one. So the understanding is, no need to fight with the emotional world, and there is no work because there is no project, there is no destination. So once you understand, automatically work stops. So usually what the spiritual people is, they try to do no work. That is another work. So what we have to do is just an understanding that there is no project here. So any project taken by the intellect is an useless one. If you understand that one, automatically work stops and the natural flow of the mind happens. So that's what yesterday Shri Bagavath has been discussing with us. So after that, now the question is, what we have to do inside. Yesterday we learned it. In psychological world, we should not keep destination. Then the question comes, then how to act, how to eat, how to go for work, how to raise children. That question comes. That is external world. So when we work in external world, of course internal world is going to get affected because there will be a lot of ups and downs, profit, losses, conflicts between people, everything. So in that situation, how to handle the external world and internal world. That's what we are going to discuss today. Thank you, everyone.
Yesterday we have seen what is the nature of our mind. The very nature of our mind is in the liberated state. The liberation is the highest state in the spiritual world or with related to a mankind. Actually, the enlightenment is not at all a state. Only liberation alone is the state. That is the original state of our mind. Why we think we have to attain some state as liberation, but we need not attain liberation. Liberation is already there. Each and every moment it is new. The mind cannot be an old one. Each and every moment it is a new one. But we are thinking that we have to keep the mind in a good state. So that is the problem. Keeping a mind in a good state means keeping a river not to flow. So when we keep a river without flowing, that means we make it stagnant. When we make it stagnant, all problem will be there. So this is what we are doing, ordinary people are doing. But only in the spiritual world alone, they are interested to know what is liberation and what is enlightenment. And there are many schools of thought describing what is enlightenment and what is liberation. But if in the practically speaking, the natural function of our mind is in the liberated condition, we need not seek. And we have to come to a conclusion that we have no work with related to the natural function of our mind. The very understanding is known as enlightenment. But mind is functioning automatically, just like our respiration goes on automatically, our mind is also functioning automatically. When we meet with a situation, according to the situation, some reflection will come naturally. And then the natural situation, the natural response will go away naturally. You need not control the response. For example, we meet with a problem, some unwanted emotion may come. We need not separate this unwanted emotion. The emotion will go away automatically. The life duration of each and every emotion is a fraction of a second. Within a fraction of a second, everything goes. Only because of our unnecessary involvement there, we make the emotion renewed. The renewal alone is the problem. We are unnecessarily renewing our emotions. The formation of emotion will go away naturally. We need not, it will not take even a second itself. Within a second it will go away. But we are unnecessarily struggling to separate something and keep on something. So thereby we are unnecessarily interfere with the natural flow of our mind. So if you understand that there is no work on our part with related to the function of our mind, this very understanding is known as enlightenment. This is only an intellectual understanding. But liberation is not an intellectual one. It is a happening. It is the happening of our mind. It moment by moment it is new. It is flowing just like a flow of river. It is an actuality. It is not an intellectual game. So psychologically, yesterday we have found what is enlightenment and what is liberation. If you understand the very definition of enlightenment and liberation, the very understanding of the definition of enlightenment by which we can get enlightenment, because we need not work for that. The very intellectual understanding, intellectual conclusion is enlightenment. You need not execute your conclusion. The very understanding will operate as enlightenment. But if the situation is normal, everything will be normal. But the situation is a complicated one. It will reflect upon our mind. Sometimes we may have some happiness, sometimes we may have some sorrow, sometimes we may have some tension according to the situation. For example, we are sitting in our room, some dangerous snake enter into our room. Can we have peace of mind? Naturally, we will have some tension. It is natural. But whatever comes within our mind, it will go within a fraction of a second. We need not worry about the going out, sending out our emotion. It will go on its own. We need not worry about the arrival of any emotion like this. But anyhow, if the situation is good emotion will come, there is no problem at all. But some unnecessary situation arise, so unnecessary emotion will come. So here we have, thereby we are dealing with the external world and the internal world. Psychologically we have no work, but physically we have some work. If a dangerous snake enter into our house, we have some work to drive the snake away from our house. Some work goes on. In this way, each and every day we have several work. And for that we have some cooperation with our mind. With the help of our mind alone we can attend our work. So for the work related, our mind is essential. It creates some emotion. All emotions are helpful. There is no good emotion, there is no bad emotion. Whether it is needed for the execution of some action, all emotions are needed. But sometimes we are struggling with our emotion. We want to drive away some of our emotion. We want to keep some good emotion with ourselves permanently. So that is our problem. Now today we are going to understand what is the relationship between the external and the internal. So internally we are having our mind, but externally some circumstances may be good or bad, but the circumstances will reflect. If it is a good circumstances, it will reflect in a good way. If it is bad circumstances, it will reflect upon us in a bad way. So when we meet with some bad thing, it will reflect upon ourselves. We will have some unnecessary emotion within ourselves. So psychologically we are having struggle, physically we are having struggle. So what is the struggle of external world and what is the struggle of internal world? So what is the relationship between the both kind of struggles? So today we are going to discuss what is internal and what is external. Normally we know what problem is. For example, we have taken a handbag in our hand, and we are taking the handbag in our hand and we are going in a street. Within the handbag, $1,000 or rupees are there, $1,000 are there. If somebody else snatched your bag and run away, you cannot accept it. It creates a problem. And another example, if you go along the street, some unknown person fetch an unnecessary quarrel with you, so it is not acceptable one. You cannot digest the unnecessary quarrel with the unknown person. So it is also a kind of problem. So in this way, there are numerous instances related to the external world. There are numerous examples in your ordinary walk of life. We can face many things. All may create some uneasiness within you. You cannot take anything as an easy one. It make you uneasy. And to understand some in more detail, we have to classify our problem in two ways. In two categories, we can examine our problem. The first category, for example, you are working in an office. When you get up from your bed, you have some quarrel with your wife or husband, or you have some quarrel with your children. When you get up from the bed, and when you go to the dining table, there are also some quarrel with your wife and children, and you have some problem in that time. And after finishing your food, you go to your office. On the way to the office, you met with many problems. Many persons created many problems along the way. And after reaching the office, your colleagues and your subordinates or superior officers also have some problem with you. They are also have created some struggle with you. And from the morning till evening, you have met with many struggles. But after the finishing your office, you return to your home. Along the way also, you have some problem. Many persons created some problem to you. And after returning to your home also, your wife and children will start another problem to you. And during the dinner also, you have some problem. So after dinner, you go to the bed. So you get up from the bed and retire to the bed. From the entire period, you met with several problems. One problem after another. In this way, from the morning till night, you have several problems. But what is peculiar in this case is that among all those problems, your mind is very peaceful. That is the peculiarity in this first category of the problem. You are meeting with several problems from the morning till night. One after another, you met with several problems, but your mind is very calm and quiet. There is no problem within your mind. Externally, you met with many problems, but psychologically, you have no problem. So that is the first category. Now we go on to the second category. In the second category, the same person, you are working in an office, and you have to go to the office, and you get up from the bed. When you get up from the bed, there is no problem by your wife or your children, by your husband or your children, no problem. Whenever you go to the dining table, there is also no problem. And on the way to the office, there is no problem, you have met with any problem. But in the office itself, there is no problem at all. Everybody is cooperating with you. When you are returning from the office to the house, along the way also there is no problem, and after reaching your home also there is no problem. And you finishing your food and you retire to the bed. From the time of waking from the bed till the time of returning to the bed, there is not at all any problem. Everything goes smooth, soft and smooth. But psychologically, you are restless. Whether this will happen like this, whether this not will happen like this, thinking like that, you become restless for yourself. Physically, everything is good. Wherever you go, everything is good, everything is nice. There is no problem at all. But psychologically, you are not all right. You are thinking unnecessary many things. This will harm you in just a way, this will harm you in such a way. By thinking like this, you become restless psychologically. So in the first category, you are psychologically all right, but you are among with many problems. But in the second category, there is not at all any problem. But psychologically you are restless, you are problematic. So there are two categories. So which category you like? The first category or second category? In the second, so for those who are in favor of first category, please raise your hand. So the remaining persons belong to the second category? First is best. So here, we are not at all interested upon the circumstances or happenings. We are interested upon our mind alone. If your mind is peaceful, everything is okay. If the mind is not peaceful, we are not okay. So that is a problem. But if the situation is not good, whether the mind is peaceful, can the mind peaceful as an imaginary thing, we can say anything. But in actuality, is it possible around the circumstances, in wherever if some unnecessary thing goes on, amidst the unnecessary thing, can we be peaceful within our mind? Is it possible? We can imagine. But actually, in practicality, is it possible? And for example, when you are working in a faraway country and you cannot return to your own land often. So you worked there for 10 years at a stretch. And after 10 years of time, you return to your own country. So naturally you will have an intention to meet your old friends because we have seen them 10 years before. So after 10 years you are eager, you are interested to meet your friends. So after finishing your breakfast, you go along the street. Whether what friend you have to meet first, you thinking that you have to enter into your street. And accidentally, one of your best friend came in front of you, walking in front of you. And he was very happy to meet him again. And he goes towards him and say, "How are you?" The moment you say, "How are you?" he immediately scolded you in bad language and beat you severely and angrily. and you are utter confusion. You do not know what to do. And you escape from the person and run away somewhere else. You have your mind, you have no idea to beat him back. But anyhow you have some intention to beat him back, but anyhow you are very confused and you run away from that. When you run away from that place, another friend come, some new friend come. But you are afraid to say how are you, because the first friend dealt you with in a severe manner. So you are afraid to say how are you to the next friend. But the next friend is very eager to, he is very interested to meet you, and he will hug you and say how are you. Then only you some way or other you satisfy, you have some calm, peace of mind within you. And the person, the new friend told you about the first friend who beaten you. For the 2 months he was mentally disturbed. He has dressed smartly, but whenever he met any friend of him, he scolded him and beat him angrily. For 2 months he got disorder in his mind. When the new friend told like this, previously you have some anxiety within yourself, you have in your mind that you have, to the possible extent, you have to retaliate the old friend. You are in an anger mode. But when the new friend told like this, all the anger has gone away from you. So the happening is there. You have been affected. But anyhow, you are psychologically free from that. So similarly, one another instance. One young father. A father means not a priest, some father with 2 children. One children at the age, one boy at the age of 6, the another boy at the age of 5. He is traveling in a train. It's a long journey train. The 2 children are very venomous, they are very mischievous. They cannot sit in a place. They go here and there, jump to here and there, and snatch the properties of other persons and damage some properties of the other persons. But the young father, he was not controlling properly the children. And the co-passengers are very angry upon the children and the father. They cannot be patient for long. And after 1 hour or 2 hours after, the co-passenger asked the father, why do you keep like this, keep your children like this? Why cannot you control them in a proper way? They accused them. And the father answered, the children are not yet grown up. I am not sure whether they would understand properly. They do not know, they even do not know that where we are traveling. Actually, my wife, the mother of my children, is a college professor, and she has taken students of the college to the northern part of this country as a picnic, where some students of the picnic met with an accident, and my wife, while rescuing the students, met with the accident and died on the spot. And her body was kept in the mortuary there, and we all are going to receive the dead body of the wife. And the children, we have no proper protection for the children in the home, so I have to take the children along with me. So please bear with me for some time. But even after that, the children are doing some mischief work, jumped here and there, damaged the properties of other persons. That was going on there. But nobody was affected. Previously, all persons are very angry, even though the father has not given any punishment to the children. We myself have to punish the children. In this way they were thought like that. But after knowing the incident behind the children, they are very calm. Nothing will disturb them. So here there is no change in the circumstances. There is no change in the outer situation. But psychologically they are free. So here, psychological problem alone is the real problem. But we have narrated two incidents. The first incident, the person who has misbehaved is a lunatic person. So we have to, we need not take it into account. The second one, the children, because they have lost their mother. So in the pain, so in that condition, it is justifiable. We can bear with the situation. But all situations are not like this. We cannot bear with the situation. We cannot excuse the situation. In the two incident, we can excuse the situation and does not matter. But all the situation we meet, we cannot excuse the situation. So what is the role of ourselves? How the problem comes? And where is the root cause of problem? Where is the dwelling place of our problem? And one story of a merchant. He is a big businessman. He is running some industry, factory, shops, many commercial complex. They are having many business. But at the same time, he has got many worry because of the many business, because of many activities. He got some worry in his mind. He cannot sleep properly. So he wants to meet a saint who was living in a mountain and want to meet the saint. He is traveling to the mountain. But till the monastery of the saint, through any vehicle, we cannot take any vehicle to the monastery. From the from the earlier part of the mountain alone, they can go through with some vehicle. Afterwards, they have to reach the ashram by some walk. So in this way, he alone by walk reached the ashram of the saint. When at the time of reaching the ashram, it began to dark. it is in the evening and it begins to dark. And he was very tired. And the saint received him wholeheartedly and offered him food and everything and asked him what is the problem. And the merchant told about all his problem, and he told that I cannot sleep for several days, I am tired with everything, so you have to console me and you have to set me right. And the saint told him that today it is very, very late and you are also very tired, and today you take sleep, you take rest, and tomorrow we can discuss all of your problem. And here the beds are not proper. This is very, very small ashram. There is no proper bedding. My bed alone is a comfortable bed, and you can take rest in my own bed. And I have go somewhere else because of I have several work, another work also, and I allot my bed to you, and you can take rest upon my bed. So saying, the saint allotted his bed to the merchant. And the merchant was very tired. And the bed is also very comfortable. With some spring action it is there. Wherever you roll, the bed is also rolling with some spring action. And very soon you got into sleep. But around 2 o'clock in the midnight, somebody is knocking the door. And he opened the door. The saint alone was standing there. And the merchant asked whether you need your bed. I may also go to some other else. Whether if you need, I can give you the bed, return to the bed. But the saint told, no, I don't need the bed. But I have a pet with me. I forgotten to take my pet with me, along with me. He is a good boy, he will not give you any trouble. So that is why now alone I came to know I have forgotten to take away the pet along with me. So saying, he removed the bed and snatched a huge snake there within the bed, and draw away the snake and put the snake upon his shoulder and go away. And you can take the sleep, you can continue the sleep, and we will meet tomorrow. And afterwards, if the merchant laying upon the bed, whether he will sleep. Previously he was sleeping upon the bed of the snake. He was asleep without his knowledge, without anything. So he was, after 2 o'clock, was waking till the morning. And afterwards he met the master, and the master asked him whether you have got proper sleep in the night. And the merchant told the master, till 2 o'clock I was in the good sleep. After you take away the pet along with you, I lost my sleep at all. So now the master asked, till 2 o'clock you are upon my snake, but you have slept properly. Afterwards there was no snake, but you have no sleep. So what is the reason for your non-sleep? what is the reason for your sleepless state? Whether the snake or the thought about the snake. So up to the 2 o'clock, there is no thought about the snake. You have slept properly. So after 2 o'clock, then only the thought about the snake comes. The thought about the snake creates problem. Not that snake did not create any problem. So here, in this way, all the problem is in the physical nature. The physical nature of the problem does not disturb us. The psychological nature of our problem alone is the disturbing factor. The psychological nature of the problem is only psychological aspect, not the physical aspect. So the problem is, the dwelling place of the problem is in the mind, not in the circumstances. And one another incident, there was a court of the palace in a king. In the royal court of the king, one saint entered into the court of the king, and everybody are interested to talk with the saint. And everybody told that we have many problems, please solve our problem. And the saint simply told that whatever may be the problem, you hand over the problem to me, I will solve everything for you. But the king told the saint, the problem is not outside, the problem is within me. Psychologically the problem is there. So the problem is within our mind. So if it is outside, I can hand it over to you, where you can solve it. But the problem is within me, within our mind. If the problem is within my mind, how can I hand it over to you? The king asked. And the saint asked, are you sure the problem is within your mind? The king told, yes, I am sure, the problem is within my mind. Then the saint asked him, if it is within your mind, it has to be somewhere within your mind. You need not give it to me. You locate what is the actual state, what is the actual place, what is the dwelling place of the problem within your mind. You find it for yourself. You need not show it to me. You find it for yourself. What is the exact place, what is the exact dwelling place of your problem within your own mind. And I will solve everything within yourself. And the king, within himself, look into his own mind, where the problem is dwelling. And after looking into himself, he told to the saint, however I tried, I cannot find anything within me. There is nothing there. I cannot find anything within me. So now the saint asked, you said you have many problems, and you said the problem is within your own mind. Now you look into your own mind and find that there is nothing there. So whether there is any problem at all or there is no problem. You say problem is there, but now you say there is no problem. Which is true? Whether the problem is true or the no problem is true. Which one is true? So in this way, we have we have to think whether there is, everybody think that we are having many problems. Now we are saying that there is no problem at all within ourselves. And one another story with related to the, so it's a legendary story. And according to the Indian mythology, the Deva and Asura, the one is known as angels, the other one is demons. The angels are one category and the demons are other category. According to the Hindu mythology, both are brothers. For the daughters, the mother or the mother differs, but father is same. The angels and the father of the angels and the demons are always same, but the mother varies. Both are the demons and the angels are at every time they fight with each other. And one time there was a war between the angel and the demons. At the time one master for the demons created a sacred fire, and from the sacred fire he created a devil from the sacred fire. And they set forth the devil against the angels. And the angels cannot fight with the devil. The devil is more powerful and they cannot fight with the devil. So the angels search to the name of the Lord Vishnu. So one of the three gods, the one is Vishnu, Brahma, Vishnu, Shivan. That is three gods. The second god is the Vishnu. And the angels seek the help of the Vishnu. And the Vishnu told the angels that the devil has no mind. Since the devil has no mind, it is more powerful, and you cannot fight with the devil, you cannot conquer the devil. But at the same time, he told a strategy. So you fight with the devil for 3 times, as if you are fighting, but you did not actually fight. You fight as if you are fighting, you fight with the devil for 3 times and run away. So in this way, the angels fight with the devil and run away, and afterwards we come and fight with the devil and run away. In this way, 3 times they fight with the devil and run away. Then they go to the Vishnu and ask, now what we can do another again. And Vishnu asks them, now you can straightly fight with the devil and conquer the devil. So afterwards, after the 4th time, all the angels fight with the devil really, without any pretension. They actually fight with the devil and destroy the devil itself. So what happens here? So when the angel, when the fight with the devil for 3 times, each and every time they fight, it creates a memory within the devil itself. So 3 type of memories found within the devil. And from the memory, mind has formed. So there is no mind at all. We are thinking that everything is the problem, the mind alone is the cause for problem. There is no permanent mind. Our memories alone is permanent. Our energy goes through the mind, goes through the memory, takes a role of mind. Otherwise there is not at all a mind. We are thinking that mind is the problem, mind is everything. There is not at all a mind. For example, some sensitivity is there within ourselves. The sensitivity is known as Atma or anything. Or the life factor. The life factor or sensitivity or Atma or Brahman, whatever it be. When it goes away from our senses, it becomes sensory perception. When it goes away from our memory, it becomes mind. There is not at all a mind. It is just like a sensory perception, just like a sensory expression. Mind is also a sensory expression. So it is also momentary. For the time being, it comes and goes. There is no permanency in for each and every senses. There is no permanent expression. Hearing is a temporary one. For the moment, it is a flowing one. Seeing is also a flowing one. So in this way, the mind is also a flowing one. There is no permanency. But we think there is a static mind. Actually, the flowing mind alone is there. The flowing sensation alone is there. But we think there is some permanent problem is there, permanent mind is there. Actually, there is no permanent problem. There is no permanent mind itself. Everything, the flowing alone is the real thing. When I go to some place for my program, one person asked, I am simply get angry, very easily get angry, but it is very hard to get away from anger. So please tell me how to get away from anger. So getting angry is very easy, but get away from anger is very hard for me. How to get away from anger? He asked me. So I told him that, so I am also do not know how to get away from anger permanently. So I cannot give you the answer how to get away from anger permanently. But at the same time, you are saying getting anger is very easy, get away from anger is very hard. So the hard thing cannot do very easily, but the easy thing can do very easily. So you say getting anger is very easy. So you keep anger from morning till evening, I will accept getting anger is very easy. You prove me, keep your anger from morning till evening. So everything comes and goes, just like a river, just like a flowing. There is no permanent thing. Each and every emotion, you need not control anything. You need not control anger, you need not control sorrow, everything is just like a flowing river. But we think we have mistakenly thought we have to take everything under our control. It is none of our business to have control with anything. Everything goes on its own way. It is easy to maintain anything, it is not easy to maintain anything. We think anger is a destructive one, fear is a destructive one, sorrow is a destructive one. But everything is momentary. We cannot maintain it. But we are unnecessarily renewal, we are renewing everything. By thinking that we are controlling that, by thinking we are controlling, by thereby we are renewing everything. Only because of renewal it gets life. Otherwise everything disappears on its own. So we need not control anything, we need not maintain anything. And there was a bank officer, and once he attended a meeting where the superior officer is presiding the meeting. Only bank managers alone are participating. Various managers of bank are participating in the meeting. The superior officer is addressing the meeting. While the speech is on progress, the cell phone of the particular manager is ringing. So then only he came to know he forgotten to switch off the phone. So immediately he switched off the cell phone. Even then the superior officer was offended and passed an order of punishment transfer. He put a he gave an order of punishment transfer. And by this order of punishment transfer, he felt very much offended, this manager, because he is a superior, behind him many inferior officers are there. He is also a kind of superior officer in a bank. Many subordinates are there working under him. So in front of him, he felt awkward. But the transferred place may be a good thing, may be a good place for him. But anyhow, the manner of transferring is not good. As a punishment, he feels humiliated. By thinking about that, the punishment and everything, he lost his sleep for 4 days. So after 4 days, he met me. So I lost my sleep for 4 days. Thinking about the incident, I lost my sleep. So what to do, how to get away from the problem? So I asked him to understand, please understand what is the difference between thought and thinking. Thought is one thing, thinking is another thing. You have to differentiate, you have to understand by differentiate what is thought and what is thinking. If some unwanted thinking, unwanted thing happen, naturally some unwanted thought may come. It is natural, we cannot control. It is the nature of ourselves. It will unconsciously come. The repeated thought will come. But thinking is not like that. Thinking is a voluntary one. Thought is involuntary, but thinking is voluntary. It is in your hand. Thinking is in your hand, but thought is not in your hand. So find out the difference between the thought and thinking. If you are able to understand what is thought and what is thinking, you can be very easily free from the problem. The thought may come repeatedly, but whatever comes will go away in the next moment. But when you ride upon the thought, automatically the thought come automatically, but if you ride upon the thought and make it into thinking, then it will not go away from you. It becomes more powerful, then it will dominate you. Then it will create unnecessary hormones within you and you will become restless. So here, you cannot control the thought, but at the same time you cannot control the thinking. Because thinking, you are voluntary, willfully, you have created thinking. So what you created for yourself, you need not create it. So you free from the thinking, you can easily free from thought. So in this way, he got relieved from the problem. So wherever go, many problems are the reason for all our problem is thinking. Thought is not at all the problem. But unconsciously we think thought may be the problem. Thought is not at all the problem. Thinking alone is the problem. And when I go to some place for our program, one young woman, or young girl, she got some problem of love affair. She got some love affair with a boy. They both thought that they have to marry each other. They told like that, they told the other person like this. They both are in the intention of marrying each other. But against their thought, against their talking, the boy has married some other girl instead of this one. So the girl was very distressed, thinking of the loss of the boyfriend. So she was very worst. So she also lost sleep for several days. And she also reached me for counseling. Here also I asked them to understand what is the difference between the thought and thinking. So there is no legal binding with you and the other person. You also can marry anybody, other person also marry any person. There is no legal binding with you. But at the same time, you believe that he will marry you. Then you both are just like friends. You are dealing with the other person. But you have the faith that he will marry you. But if he has married other person, you feel you are cheated. But in the same way, if you married some other person, he will also feel cheated. That is the natural thing. So in that circumstances, whoever will be in your position, the same thought will come like this. The thought is natural, but you don't fight with your thought. But if you fight with your thought, the thought will not then the thought become powerful, the thought become thinking, then that condition, some unwanted emotion will come, unwanted hormones will secrete, so the problem will be worse. So here, you allow the thought, let it be, but don't involve into thinking. If you have some legal right upon the other person, you have to think. For if you have any physical action upon the other person, you have to think and act according to that. But here, the matter is over, matter is finished. Here there is no work on your part. But at the same time, the thought alone will come again and again. But there is no role on your part to think upon that. If we have any action possible, legal action is permitted and possible, you have to think. But here the position is not like this. So the matter is over. But even the matter is over, the thought will come on automatically. But you need not worry about the thought. But don't enter into the thinking. Thinking is in your hand. At any time you can get away from thinking. If you are able to get away from the thinking, the thought will go away from you very soon, disappear very soon. So I I have given counsel to the person like this. And she accepted everything in off-minded and returned to her house. The next morning he phoned me. I thought that she may wanted more counseling, because the previous day he returned off-minded. But she told me that whenever I get away from my bed today morning, I am very blissful. I am bliss consciousness. I am very happy. I don't know why it is happening like this. I am totally, terribly bliss consciousness. The problem is there, but it doesn't matter. But at the same time, what I am feeling is very good. I am very happy. I do not know why this happy mood comes to me. I don't know why this feeling of ecstasy come to me. I don't know. I am in a bliss consciousness. I don't know why it happened like this. When she was in stress, when he was tight with some problem, when she is not giving any way to the renewal of the problem, all tightness loosen. When the tightness is suddenly loosened like this, it may create some ecstasy feeling also. It is also possible. But it's not common to everybody, but rarely it is happened to that a girl. So in this way, so we have to find out what is the thought and what is thinking, what is psychological and what is physical. Physically we have to do, we have to plan, we have to think, we have to plan, we have to execute everything. But psychologically we need not worry about anything. But whatever worry, whatever thought comes automatically, it will go automatically. We need not create anything, we need not remove anything. Whatever comes will go away naturally. We need not worry about anything. We need not take any stress, we need not take any strain to remove any of our thought. Whatever comes will go away naturally. So this is the what is psychological and what is physical, what is internal and what is external. We have to differentiate what is external and what is internal. The internal is purely psychological and the external is purely physical. Physical we have to do something. What is possible we can do. If we fall down, we have to get up. It is a physical act, physical thing. But if we are psychologically we are fall down, we need not worry about to get up. It is natural. There is no fall down within psychologically. Whatever happen, it is momentary. It will automatically, everything will be all right in the psychological world. In the psychological world, we need not fight with anything. We need not try to set right anything. But physically, we have to take all the effort, all the planning, all the work. We have to accept. We have to do everything. So the main thing is that we have to differentiate. We have to be able to differentiate. We have to distinguish what is psychological and what is physical, what is internal, what is external. If you are able to classify, if you understand what is purely psychological, purely internal, then you can forget our action. You have to put everything in the natural way. Everything will be all right in the natural way. You need not worry about that. You need not mind anything. But if externally you have to think. Even though if the problem is external, you have to think internally. By thinking internally, you have to execute everything externally. But if the problem is in the external, in the internal world, in the psychological world, there is not at all, no internal thinking, internal planning. no discussion, everything is nothing is necessary there. Everything will be all automatically. For example, you write something in your pencil, in the paper. If you put anything wrong, you have to erase. But at the same time, you write something upon a water. If you write something with some spelling mistake, you need it to correct it. Whenever you write, the next moment it will wipe away automatically. Writing upon the water will go away naturally. So whatever, but that does not matter. Nothing will happen within the psychologically. Everything will happen. Good thing, bad thing, everything will be happening. But whatever happening will go away naturally. You need not worry about the thing. You need not correct anything. You need not, in the same way, you cannot establish a good thing for yourself. You cannot establish a happiness for yourself ever. So, through some meditation practice, you can create some good emotion for yourself, some bliss consciousness for yourself. So, if you are trying for any method, you are trying to create any ecstasy or anything happen like this, it will destroy your body. For the time being, you can establish. Otherwise, your good feeling, good emotion, your ecstasy feeling will destroy your body. The ecstasy is a poison. Without knowing it is a poison, we are creating ecstasy by doing meditation and everything. But we have to understand what is psychological and what is physical, what is internal and what is external. If you are able to understand, our mind will function in a liberated way. It is always functioning. It will keep undisturbed. It will keep itself undisturbed. If we find any work in the mind, we are in the name of work, in the name of some good emotion, good feeling, we are unnecessarily disturbing the natural mind, the liberated mind. Actually, the liberation is the highest thing and it is our natural work. The natural function of our mind is the liberation. We need not purchase it. We need not create it. It is already there. But what is our responsibility is that we should not disturb it. We have to stop our disturbance to that. That at all that alone we need. So if we need any clarification in this talk, we can ask question. This is the internal and external part 1. Tomorrow we are having part 2. Part 2 is also available. It is not complete for part 1. Part 2 is also available. We will see tomorrow part 2.
Shri Bagavath, you said that the outward situation will reflect upon...
Psychologically.
Yes. There is the famous incident of Sri Ramana Maharishi, where he was in his ashram attacked by thieves. Thief was coming into the ashram and they were beating him. And it was reported that he was giving them the other side of his body and saying to them, you beat all this side also. Why this side? No, you beat also the other side. How do you see this incident?
So this is also a technique. He has got operation without anesthesia. He applied some technique. You can endure anything. So for the time being, but anyhow, it will naturally, psychologically will have some reflection. For example, if you do some good thing to him, he will have some good feeling within himself. If you do any bad thing, some bad feeling will come within himself. But the expression you can express itself, it may not express itself. But it will happen naturally. So if the expression is not happening like this, it is not normal. If you have normal being, it will reflect like this. That only we are normal.
So you say even in the case of Ramana Maharishi, he will reflect in a bad situation, reflect in a bad feeling, but his reaction he is free to react in a different way than normal people.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So to my understanding from what I've heard from you, I think thought is something that comes all the time. Like it's there. Like when you see someone, or like when you eat a food, or like when you're talking to someone, there is a thought. Yeah.
Slowly, little by little. Nirti nidanama pesu.
Okay. So I believe thought is happening all the time, randomly. And thinking, like this is what I understood. Thinking is optional. If it is necessary, we can choose to think on that, if it is necessary for the external world. And for internal, I really have to do nothing.
No.
I don't have to do anything. So, yeah, I think this understanding is kind of there. My question is that am I kind of getting the point in the right fashion?
So you asked that externally you need not think about any work. So the circumstances is that there is no work at all. So you need not think.
Okay.
But psychologically you have some unnecessary emotion, for example anger, sorrow, anything, then you have the idea that how to control this anger, fear or anything. So this kind of thinking you need not have. You need not avoid this kind of thinking. Whatever comes naturally, it will go away naturally. But the external work will not happen naturally. We have to do our work.
Act and
artificially we have to do our thing. For that we have to think. To the possible extent we have to think, we have to plan, we have to execute.
Yeah.
In the thought, with related to the thought, the matter is over, but even unnecessarily the same thing, the finished thing, about the finished thing. For example, one of our relative died. We cannot make him give life to that. And anyhow the thought about the person,
keep on
the
coming.
dead person will come and come. So you need not correct it. So it will automatically solve itself.
It will disappear in few moments. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I have clear-cut idea about thinking and thoughts. Clear-cut idea about thinking and thoughts. Thought is coming simultaneously. We can't control it. It will come spontaneously. Thinking we are creating
Thinking, we are
Yes,
manually,
yeah.
we are
Yes, yes.
willfully creating.
Whenever we are thinking, we do some work, okay, external work.
When you want some work, you have to think.
You have to think.
Without thinking, we cannot
Yes, yes, I am also have that knowledge. But I want one doubt. In external work, some work occurs at once.
work. Externally,
Some work occurs at once. If I want water, I am going to give the water. That is occasional work.
okay.
Okay, spontaneous work. Some works have the span of time,
Span of time.
1 week or 1 month also. Before 1 month, we are going to think. But occurrence of that day, particular day, whatever I may think not happened. Not happened. It is happened at naturally. Why should we think, we spend our intellect before 1 month?
But anyhow,
That incident also we freed our thinking.
so it is necessary, you can think about that. If it is not necessary, you need not think about it.
Yes, it is necessary for that I am thinking, but the span of time is 1 month.
Doesn't matter.
But that is not happened.
But you-
Whatever I think,
But you have to understand the difference between thought and thinking.
yes, yes.
So if you need not unnecessarily thinking.
It is not unnecessary, it is necessary but not happened. Yes,
Doesn't
my.
matter. That everything, whether you think everything has to, does not matter.
Happened.
Everything will happen according to your thinking.
Yes,
Does
yes.
not matter.
Oh,
But anyhow, you have the license, you have the permission to think.
Think.
For any work.
yes,
But
yes.
if there is no work is necessary for, if there is no work, you need not think.
Oh, my second question is, if thought occurs me, it does not told me to come. It is spontaneously will come. Thought will come. Okay. So we should not follow. We merely be being in the state of mind. Okay. தமிழில் சொல்கிறேன் இங்கிலீஷில் வரல தமிழே சொல்கிறேன்.
தமிழ்ல கூட சொல்லுங்க, தமிழ்ல.
ஆமாம், இப்போ வந்து தாட்டு வருது அப்படின்னா அதை நான் எப்படி அதை நான் ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுறது? அதை நான் வந்து ஒன்றுமே பண்ண முடியாது. அது வந்துட்டு அது போயிடும், ஃப்ளோ ஆகி போயிடும்.
தாட்டு தான் உங்களுக்கு உதவி பண்ணுது.
நமக்கு எக்ஸ்டர்னலுக்கு தேவைன்னா எடுத்துக்க போகிறோம்.
தேவைகளுக்கு தேவை இருந்ததுன்னா அது
தேவை இருந்தால் எடுத்துக்க போகிறோம்.
அதை நீங்கள்
இப்போ தேவையில்லாதது வந்துக்கிட்டே இருக்குல்ல, அது தானாக தானே வருது.
தேவையில்லாத வந்ததுன்னா நீங்கள் அதை கண்டுக்கிட வேண்டாம்.
கண்டுக்க வேணாம், எப்படி வேணாலும் இருந்துட்டு பொண்ணு விட்டணும்.
விட்டுட்டீங்கன்னா
அதுதான் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். அதான் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங்.
நீங்கள் வரக்கூடாதுன்னு நினச்சிங்கன்னா இன்னும் பவர்ஃபுல் ஆயிடும்.
தாட்டு அது எப்படியாச்சும் இருந்துட்டு போகுது. அப்போ வரது வந்து எந்த இப்போ வந்து வரது வந்து நம்ம சம்மந்தப்பட்டது தான் வரும் ஒரு தாட்டு இல்லைங்களா? இப்போ என் ஃப்ரெண்டுனா இவரை பற்றி வரலாம், இல்லை எனிமினாலும் அவரை பற்றி வரலாம், இல்லை எங்கள் சொந்தக்காரங்களை பற்றியோ இல்லை நம்ம ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் பற்றி ஏதோ ஒரு தாட் வரும். அது நம்ம எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ண வேண்டிய தேவையே இல்லைங்கிறோம்.
நீங்கள் அது வந்துட்டு தானாக போயிடும். நீங்கள் வந்து அதில் ஏறி திங்கிங்காக
கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. அதுமாரி நம்ம அப்படியே நிஷான் எந்த ஒரு நிச்சயம் இருக்க வேண்டியதான். அது வந்து அது போயிட்டே இருக்கும். அப்படிதானே எடுக்கணும்.
நல்லா பாருங்க, தாட் வர்றதை நீங்க திங்கிங்கா கன்வெர்ட் பண்றதுனால தான் பவர்ஃபுல்லா மாறி உங்களுக்கு தூக்கத்தெல்லாம் கெடுத்துரும்.
அது எனக்கு புரியுது.
தூக்கத்தெல்லாம் கெடுத்துரும், ப்ரெஷரை ஏற்றி
அது எனக்கு புரியுது.
நீங்க அந்த மாதிரி அதுல திங்கிங்கா கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணாம இருந்தோம்னா அந்த அளவுக்கு ஸ்ட்ரெயின் ஆகாது, வராது.
ரைட்டு. அப்போ வந்து நம்ம படி பேசாமல் நிச்சயம் இருக்க வேண்டியதான். அது வந்து அது போயிட்டே இருக்கும்.
ஆமாம், அது மாதிரி சும்மா
அது இப்போ நான் இப்போ என்னுடைய கொஸ்டின் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி வரேன். இப்போ வந்து இவர் ஃப்ரெண்டு, இவருலாம் அவர் இனிமேல் அவரை பற்றி வரலாம், இல்லை என்னுடைய காரை பற்றி வரலாம், என் பைக்கை பற்றி வரலாம், எது வேணாலும் வந்துட்டு போட்டுன்னு பேசாமல் வந்துடணும். அவ்வளோதான். ஏன்னா அது நம்மளே கிரியேட் பண்ணலாம். தானாக வருது, தானாக போகுது. எந்த ஒரு முயற்சியும் எடுக்கக்கூடாது. பேசாம இருக்கணும். காரை பத்தி வந்தாலும் அது போயிடும்.
தேவையானதா வந்ததுன்னா நீங்க
அதை நம்ம பிடிச்சிக்கணும். அது திங்கிங்
கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணிக்கிடுங்க.
புரியுது. இப்போ காரை பத்தி வந்தாலும் அதை நம்ம மீன் பண்ணவல, எதிரியை பத்தி வந்தாலும் மீன் பண்ணவல, அதையும் நம்ம எதையும் மீன் பண்ணுவாங்க. பேசாம இருந்தாலே போதும், அது போயிடும், வந்துட்டு தானே போகும். அப்போ நம்ம அது தாட்டுன்னு புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். அது உள்ள போகக்கூடாது இல்லையா?
ஆமா.
அந்த எதை பத்தி வந்தாலும் அது தாட்டு அப்படின்னு சொன்னா போதும். மைண்டுக்கு நம்ம புரிய வச்சா போதும். அது ஒரு தாட், அவ்வளவுதான். அதுக்கு மேல
வரும், வந்தா வந்துட்டு போட்டுங்க.
ஆமா, அது தாட்டு அப்படின்னு நினைச்சாலும் அது போயிடும். Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Sir, actually everyone have some vision and mission in their business or in their life. So we need to think about for the vision and mission, correct?
Vision and mission for what?
It may be for our life expansion or business next level of growing to the
So
business.
if you have any project, you have to think. Unless you think about that, you cannot proceed.
Yeah.
For all our action, for all our action, you have to think, you have to discuss, you can visualize. For better consultation, you can go for better consultation. Everything you can do. But sometimes the matter is over. There is no necessary, there is no possibilities of progress. For that, you need not unnecessarily think about that.
In case if anyone have one set of goal, to achieve the goal, they have to work towards the goal, correct?
So here, you have to decide. So you have to decide to reach the goal. You need not often thinking about the goal is not necessary. You have to decide. You should not change the decision. That alone is enough. Once you decide, the decision will be perfect. Okay. But at the same time, each and every moment you change the decision after one after another, then the decision will not work. If you decide, and you can forget that, it will from the beginning, from the bottom of your heart, it will function. It will give you proper energy for that.
Right. And you said the emotions are like a river, right?
Okay.
So it always flow. We have to allow them to flow. But naturally, it is very difficult for all of us to practice the same, right? So how to
Actually,
practice this kind of things?
For example, some unnecessary thought comes. You need not drive them away. When the thought comes, it is already over. The finished thought alone you can feel. It is not a new thought, it is a finished thought. Finished thought alone, whenever you feel a thought, it is a finished thought. You need not drive the thought away.
We need not to fold the finished thought.
Only you need not renew the thought.
Renew the thought, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Actually, I have attended one-day class of Jnanamugam in Chennai. So since then, I have some understanding about this, and like I was applying it to all parts of my life. Like it's become another nature of me. I want to share few examples of like what happened recently, so that like I just want to share my experience with all the people here. So actually, I brought 4 of my friends here. Like 3 of them are my kids' master, and another one is an entrepreneur. We had a plan. Okay, we'll go for this meet. Like I want you guys to come, something like that. Day before, up until day before yesterday or something like that, nobody wants to come. I am like, okay. And then day before yesterday, all of a sudden, everybody wants to come. I am okay. Usually, the real me before the Jnanamugam was like, if I want something, I have to do it. If it is not happening, I can't accept that. I have to find out some way, or like this. Even if it did not happen, I will think like something went wrong, like you did not do the things properly, or this, that, and all these things, a lot of things are there. But this time, I was cool with everything. Like, yeah, they are coming, okay. If they are not coming, we'll see. It's also fine, right? Then like, this is one of the example. And another one is like, it is very live. I'm running a private limited company. My company is facing a serious audit from external third-party vendor and all these things, which is not very pleasant or very polite, and everybody should be scared, like for this kind of audit and all these things, and I can certainly not be here today for what is going on there. And from reality, it's nothing. Like it's like usually when this audit happened a few years back, I was very scared. I still remember that. Like I was very scared. The people in the company was very scared. Like they have this bakkanur feeling, like you don't know what to do. It's all very dangerous and all these things. You can lose a lot of money, this, that, and all these things. There's so much possibility for disaster. So I still remember that feeling, like how pissed off we were. And after this class, like when this is happening this time, I'm like chill on the boat, like, I'm not affected by that. Like, it is happening, it is going on. I understand that. So we have some kind of things in our hands that we can, like, do, like, we have our part of work, right? So I think about that, we see all the possibilities, what can be done from our side, and we do it properly. And then we also kind of roughly know what they're going to do. So it's all there, we'll see, like, it's all step by step, and we don't have to decide or conclude all the bad things right inside. Like, so I just, like, let it go, and I can immediately see all the people in the company and other people who are very involved with this audit and all these things, they are also very cool. Like, they somehow immediately got understood, like, okay, yeah, everything is happening, we are doing what is need to be done and all these things. Like, nothing to be worried about. Like, everybody is free. This, I mean, this is something that I believe, like, this is a very serious situations, and like, I was like to this guy, the audit guy, hey, I want to go to this place, like this, like there is a sudden plan for 1 or 2 days. I'll be there for the next day. Do you think, like, I was communicating like that, do you think it is okay for you to, like, do this, communicate afterwards, or should I stay? Like, this guy is like, hey, feel free, man, like, you can go, come back, and all these things. Like, when we're not tensed, we're welcoming others and all these things, they also feel the, respect and all these things. Okay, yeah, everything is good, So the total point is, like, I'm not stressed out about anything. It's all happening, and in a very good fashion. Even if it is a disaster, it's going to go smooth. So that's one of my life things that I wanted to share. Thank you.
நமஸ்தே. இப்போ நாங்கள் சொல்லியிருக்கோம் எல்லாம் பிராரப்த கர்மம், பாஸ்ட் ஜென்மத்தில் நாங்கள் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கோமோ அதுதான் நடந்துட்டுருக்கு இப்போது. ஸோ பாஸ்ட் ஜென்மத்தில் இஃப் எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ் பிளான்ட் ஃபார் திஸ் ஜென்மா அக்கார்டிங் டு மை பாஸ்ட் வாசனாஸ், then why should I do all my rituals, rituals or japa, namasmarana or girivalam? Is it necessary if it is everything is planned in my destiny? Is predestined, is my blueprint is already ready. Then how can I know my blueprint, whether what I am doing is right or wrong? Or how can I take it?
The karma topic, we are not taking the karma topic. Karma topic is some other day we can take.
Okay.
This is not, because prarabdha karma how comes? Only because of ahame karma alone, sanjita prarabdha. So the root cause is ahame karma. So we cannot delete the agami karma. Prarabdha karma is only the circumstances. In that circumstances, what you have to do is agami karma. Agami karma is in our hand. We have to do the agami karma. Prarabdha karma is destined. This is only circumstances alone. All circumstances alone related to the agami prarabdha karma. Not agami karma is not related to the prarabdha.
Okay, now this is a new thing I have to understand right now. It's the thought versus thinking. Really, it surprised me that so far I am also trying to avoid my thoughts. How I now avoid my thoughts? Why the thoughts are coming when I sit for meditation?
They are not necessary. So when you understand, when you witnessed, notice a thought, the moment already it is already over. The finished thought alone you notice. So you need not separate any thought. It is already over.
Only if I keep on reviewing that thoughts means there is thinking. That's why it's disturbing our life.
You can make it into thinking. If you don't want, you need not do anything. So the thought will go away on its own.
Okay, only that I need to practice every day.
So you have to, if you understand, the understanding will operate. You need not practice. If you understand properly, the very understanding will operate on its own.
That's great. Namaste.
அப்போ தாட்டுங்கிறது அது உயிரற்றங்கிறது தான் வருது இல்லையா? அது அது எப்படி வேணாலும் வரட்டும்.
உயிரை விட்டுக்கிட்டே இருக்கு, அவ்வளோதான்.
நம்ம தான் அந்த திங்கிங் மூலமாக உயிர்
நிலையில் வரல, வந்து உயிரை விட்டுட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கு.
அப்படி நினச்சாலே போதும், மற்ற எந்த ஒரு முயற்சியும் எடுக்க வேண்டியதில்லை. அந்த எந்த ஒரு விஷயமா இருந்தாலும் அது தாட்டுன்னு புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டாலே போதும். வேறு எதுவுமே அந்த விஷயத்துக்குள்ளே போகணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை.
நீங்களா பண்ணுறீங்களா அதுவா வருதானே?
அதே வரும்போது அது தாட்டுன்னு புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டா போதும்.
நீங்களா பண்ணுனீங்கன்னா
திங்கிங் அது புரியுது எனக்கு. இப்போ தாட்டு எதை பற்றி வேணாலும் வரட்டும், தாட்டுன்னு புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டாலே போதும். அது உள்ளெல்லாம் போக வேண்டிய அவசியம். ஏன்னா நம்ம அது ஒன்றும் பண்ண போகிறதில்ல, உள்ளே போய் இல்லையா, அப்படியே விட்டுற வேண்டியதான். அது உயிரற்ற நிலையிலே போயிடும்.
சில நேரங்களில் திங்கிங்க்கும் தாட்டுக்கும் வித்தியாசம் தெரியாமல் திங்கிங் மாதிரி கூட தாட் இருக்கும். அப்போ அதை நீங்களா பண்ணுறீங்களா அதுவா வருதான்னு மட்டும் பார்த்துக்கோங்க.
திங்கிங் மாரி கூட தாட் வரும்.
பண்ணாமல் அதுவாக வந்தோம்னா திங்கிங்காக இருந்தாலும் கூட அதையும் தாட்டுன்ட்டு எடுத்துக்கணும்.
இப்போ சிலது திங்கிங்கே தாட்டு மாரி நமக்கு தோணும்.
ஆமாம், அதாவது உங்களுக்கு தாட்டே கூட திங்கிங் மாதிரி கூட இருக்கலாம். சில நேரங்களில் வந்து
திங்கிங் வந்து தாட்டு மாரி நம்ம எடுத்துக்கிற மாரி
திங்க் பண்ணுற மாதிரி கூட தெரியலாம்.
இருந்தாலும் அது தேவையில்லைன்னா தாட்டு தானே.
நீங்களா வாலண்டியர் வில்ஃபுல்லாக திங்க் பண்ணுறீங்களா உங்களை அறியாமல் வருதான்னு மட்டும் பார்த்துக்கோங்க. உங்களை அறியாமல் வந்ததுன்னு சொன்னால் திங்கிங்காக இருந்தால் கூட அதையும் தாட்டு
தான். ஆமாம், ஏன்னா அது அப்படி வந்தால் கூட நமக்கு எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஒர்க் இல்லைன்னா அது தாட்டில் சேர்த்துற முடியும். எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஒர்க்குக்கு தேவைன்னா தான் திங்கிங் எடுத்துக்க முடியும். எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஒர்க்குன்னா அது திங்கிங்காக இருந்தாலும் தாட்டுன்னு சேர்த்து விட்டுரும். ஓகே ஓகே.
Sir, what kind of practice is needed to live easily? Because living easily, it's so difficult.
So understanding alone is enough. Here no practice, we are not advising any practice here. If you understand properly, the very understanding will operate on its own. You need not worry about the practice. You need not worry about the action. If you understand, you will understand what to do, what not to do. So for example, some action you have to need, you have to take. For that you have to decide. You have to do like this. If you decide, the action will follow. Naturally energy will come, the extra action will also come.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, it is a current situation. Usually I react whoever is helpless in my surroundings, automatically the dogs and everything. But here something is happening, the big dogs are biting the smaller ones, and so they are dying. I'm unable to control my emotions and reactions. How do I understand this type of emotions?
You have to accept your emotion as natural. You accept whoever will be in your position, this emotion will come like this.
But
so it is correct emotion.
Other people are feeling like they are disturbing these dogs and others. They are following me wherever I go. Sometimes I will give the food for them. That's a thing I am doing now. But I am unable to save them.
Sir, everybody
because nobody is
having,
responding.
Everybody is having some mental construction. According to your mental construction, such a kind of emotion comes. There is no wrong about it. If it is useful to the situation, you can make use of that. You need not worry about that.
But I am feeling guilty. Something I may do something more and something more. That is the feeling I am suffering.
So anyhow, you have to decide whether it is good for ourselves and others. You have to do the good thing. That you have to decide. If it is good, you have to do without whether they will think like good or bad. Doesn't matter. Whether the doing is good or not, you have to decide. If it is good, you have to proceed with the good thing.
But most of the time, I'm affecting that feeling. I'm unable to get rid of that feel. Because nobody is helping me and cooperating with me. So how can I control my emotions or something?
For the execution of action alone, cooperation is needed. For the happening of our mind, no cooperation is needed. Whatever happen, let it happen. For the execution of any act, some cooperation is needed. For that you have to secure cooperation in some way or other.
Yes.
For action you have to get cooperation.
So most of the time I'm affecting,
But
affected by that field.
psychologically, you alone, you are a single person. There is no dual. You alone, you are there is no
Yes.
other person. You yourself is the only person. Everything comes for yourself alone. There is no help. Nobody is there. Nobody will not help you to behave like this. It is natural. You are alone. Psychologically, you are alone. Physically, you have some companion or anything. You can get the help of other people or anything. But psychologically, you are alone. So thank you all. We will meet in the evening. The walking stick. One announcement.
Yeah. Today, 4 o'clock, we will be having a meditation session, 4 to 6. Who are interested can join. Thank you.